can we do this financially? And if we can't, what do we need to be able to do it?
I couldn't think of anything worse at over 50 than diving on a ground.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Players Lounge on Football Business Television. The Players Lounge, what's that about? The Players Lounge in our world in football is a secret place, is a place, a private space where families gathers, friends, trusted people. Hence why you are invited to the Players Lounge. And today, who else than somebody that used to save me from my mistakes? Yeah, because I used to do a lot of mistakes, but he was the guy, the keeper. He was, the security. Welcome to the Players Lounge to my old friends, American Mr. Brad Friedel. Brad, how are you doing?
Yeah, really good, Seb. Always nice to see you. I think we've seen each other and worked a little bit on some programs before. And I got to say, you're looking good, Seb.
Thank you very much. I'm trying my best, to stay in shape. It's not easy when we stop football. We're gonna find a new purpose, but a healthy body. It's a healthy mind. So I'm very good. Where are you? Talk to us about you. I mean, for those of you who might not know you, can you present yourself? Who are you? I know you, but maybe some people don't.
Well, I was born and raised in the United States. I'm a dual citizen, passport holder with the UK and the US. Played most of my career in the Premier League with Liverpool and Blackburn when Blackburn was in the Premier League, Aston Villa, and then ended my career at 44 years of age at Tottenham. I'm a UEFA Pro license holder. I've been a head coach of professional team, been a head coach of youth national teams. I'm shareholder in a few businesses. I was an agent for a short time as well. I've consulted for many groups looking to purchase clubs. I work heavily right now into data analytics with regards to football clubs and helping agencies with regards to that, or one particular agency with regards to that, and I do the odd appearance on television. I just kind of do. I live in between Istanbul and the Bahamas now, um, and life life is good. I enjoy myself. I enjoy the business side of things, and I keep myself involved in football when I can. And last year I took on a role as sporting director at Besiktas in Turkey, and it was a tremendous experience, chaotic experience, and
Okay.
our president resigned overnight, and then we were all out of jobs. And no, it was but good fun. But one of the arms of the analytics company is headquartered in Istanbul, and my oldest daughter goes to university in Istanbul. So I spend at least 6 months of my time over there
All
per
right.
year.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. You got your hands full, as you say, Brad. But let's go back a little bit. That's not. I just want to make a connection. Let's go back to your playing days, because you hold it like you're modest and very humble, but you hold a record in the Prem. What record do you hold?
Most consecutive games, I believe. That is from Blackburn when Mark Hughes was the manager to into Aston Villa, and then through to Tottenham. So it's just one of those things, Seb. But as you go through your career, it's not like an FA Cup trophy or a League Cup trophy or winning the Premier League or something. It's not one of those achievements that I didn't even know about it really, to be honest with you, until someone said when I was at Blackburn, you've just broken the record at Blackburn, and just for that club in general. And then I was the oldest player to be playing for Blackburn at one stage, and then or maybe the second oldest. And then I went to Villa, and I was the oldest player there. And then they had said I had broken maybe Frank Lampard's record for consecutive games, and I think it was David James, etc. And I guess I notice it more now when I'm retired than when I was playing, because you know me, you were in the changing room with me. I turn up. I have a good laugh with the players. I work hard. I kept myself fit, and hopefully, my performances allowed the manager to call on me to play. That's really how I went through it. Now, looking at it, 310 games in a row over three clubs with four or five different managers. I'm firmly of the perception that every single record is out there to be broken. I really am. At the sports, in every sport, people get bigger, faster, stronger, better. Usually, records are broken at some stage. This one, with the amount of load the players have, the recovery methods the players have, the rotation of squads the players have, it'll take some doing for this one to fall.
Uh, it's gonna be
It's like, what
difficult.
is it?
It's gonna
Eight
be
and a half,
difficult to break that
eight and a
one,
half
right?
to 9 years. Yeah. So, I guess the bet my looking back on it, if someone were to ask me like what about that record, I would say, well, I must have been showing some consistency with different managers with different styles of play, and I was able to adapt to many different personalities. So that's a good thing. And I would say, as a goalkeeper, I still watch today, and I know an emphasis has been put on how goalkeepers play out of the back with their feet. And in some instances, it's more important to some managers than saving shots. But I would still strongly suggest that being consistent over what you do is the best thing for a goalkeeper, not the goalkeeper that can have the great game and then make two mistakes, have three great games in a row, and then make more mistakes. For a goalkeeper, I think the best ones are the consistent ones. We all make mistakes. It's how you can snap back and not make another mistake. That's the important thing for goalkeeping. So yeah, interesting how things pan out. I grew up in a country that didn't even have a professional league, and then you retire with a record like that. It's something that you probably never envisioned would happen.
So as I said, Brad, it takes some doing. I don't really think that somebody's gonna come and break your record anytime soon. But what I'm really interested about, you said most of the time you were the oldest player in a dressing room. The guardian. You not only being the keeper, but the guardian of values, and you spent over 2 decades at the highest level, which for me itself is just amazing. Emotionally, when you had to hang up the gloves, because it takes a lot to stay as long in the highest level. How did you feel when you had to hang up the gloves?
I'm relieved, to be honest with you. Yeah, no, no, it was. y- I was really fortunate that I was one of the few players that was sort of able to call time on my own career. Like the last 4 years of my career, I have a really good relationship with Daniel Levy because of this. He said, we'll give you a 2-year contract. You'll play the first year. Then we're going to be looking for a long-term number one that's younger, which is normal. I was 40 years old.
You go.
And yeah, and Hugo came in on the last day of the transfer window, if you remember. But
Yeah.
that was a different story because AVB and Daniel weren't seeing eye to eye on that. But anyways, like, I knew every step of the way that was going on, and for that, then I was able to do my UEFA B, my UEFA A, and my pro license at Tottenham. That was our agreement. Because I was so fit, they kept giving me first team contracts as well. So I did 4 first team contracts there. So, like, my mind after the second season was already morphing into after football. I mean, it was 42 turning 43, then 43 turning 44. I knew it was coming to the end. So I played with, and so did you, Seb. We played with a lot of players that had to end in their 20s because of injury and
Yeah.
things of that nature. I think psychologically, it's much more difficult to deal with that than planning 4 years out before the final day. And I was actually given the opportunity to stay even one more year as a player, and at Tottenham, and be the number three, and then and do the role that I was doing between the academy and the first team, which is I wanted to finish and do something else. So it was I knew what it took to keep yourself fit for the Premier League, mentally and physically. and I was really pleased when I didn't have to do that,
Yeah,
and I could walk down on Saturday and go to the pub and
yeah,
watch the football. Do you know, like, so where I could hang out with my kids on a Saturday afternoon. On a Friday night, I could go out to a meal with friends, family. I was ready. I was ready for that. So
yeah.
for me, the finishing point of football was quite easy. The other thing I'll add to that, and then you could ask other goalkeepers about this. Like, I've never played in one. I've been asked to a lot. I've never played in one charity match or friendly match or anything retired. I couldn't think of anything worse at 50 years of age. I'm 54 now, but over 50 than diving on a ground
Oh
in a
yeah.
game and conceding like 7 goals or 8 goals or
Because now you are in the executive roles and you switch from you have different venture. Talk to me about how does it feel to be in the business of football? Because there's the art of what I call the art of football when you do play. There's you had your venture, outside venture, but when you are in the coaching side or in the executive role, what did I mean, how does it feel? What is it about? Yeah, tell me everything about it.
There's different feelings. So like when you're in the coaching role, when when the game starts, you're not helpless. There's things you can do tactically and whatever and motivationally, but you are beholden to how the players perform on the pitch. When you're in the executive roles and you need to try to create financing or create larger revenue streams or something like that, so the team can be more competitive on the pitch. They're different kind of buzzes. I would say um, what I like most is in the sporting director stroke technical director stroke advising role, because you have a say, not say is the wrong word. You have more of a controlling interest on trying to fix the areas of a football club from a football perspective that aren't working. And then what I like to do is go with my ideas to the financing guys, the CFOs and whatnot, and say, hey, this is really how it should work from a football standpoint. Can we do this financially? And if we can't, what do we need to be able to do it? I really enjoy that side of things because you have a little bit more control over it. The one thing that you'll learn quickly in business is, which is a lot different than playing football, you need a lot more help from a lot more people to get things done, and you have to work in a much more collaborative manner. Whereas when you're in football, first and foremost, you have to make sure that you're physically fit. Second, you have to make sure that you're mentally fit. Third, you have to know your individual personal role, and then you can help the team. Um, Whereas in the business and the financing and the building of football clubs, not one person, doesn't matter who you are. The most successful, the person who runs and operates the most successful club in the world will tell you this. You have to have many minds, like minds, of course, but many minds to be able to create the best environment for all the players. I think when you see what's happening at Manchester United, for instance, the teams that you used to play against, the teams that I used to play against, they were awesome, but the club seemed just colossus on the field, off the field. Everything seemed class, seemed the pinnacle, seemed what a football club should be. And when that leadership was gone, when Sir Alex Ferguson left, you quickly see what happens. And the club is still today, many years on, looking to try to regain how to make this a well-oiled machine. And one person doesn't do that alone, but what somebody like you know let's go back to like a David Gill and a Sir Alex Ferguson, you know Gil would work the magic behind the scenes with the
Yeah.
board. Sir Alex would work everything else down, but they all had their people that they trusted around them. Now it seems to me like perhaps at that club, they have a lot of people trying to impress certain people in different ways, but not everyone working together. So what I like now is to figure out the things at the club that I'm not good at and find out quickly who I need to go speak to or who I need to go hire to make sure that area of the club is the best that it can be. That's what I like. The coaching, I really enjoyed working as the head coach of the under 19 national team. But again, I like that because I was working underneath Tab Ramos, who was really structured. A lot of the players that you see with the US national team today came through Tab's programs.
Okay.
um, Very structured, very good to work with, very very demanding, but everybody knew what was going on. I think it's been a little bit, a little since he left, it's been a little bit, good result, bad result with regards to youth teams. So, but when you get into the professional game on coaching, so so many things are out of your control, and it can it's frustrating, to be honest with you. It's not the same buzz, as a goalkeeper. Yes, a striker can miss a chance, and a midfielder can miss a tackle, and a center back could miss a tackle, but then you're still there. You can try to control the situation, and if you can make the save, then everybody looks good no matter what. Nobody remembers the miss, nobody remembers the missed tackle, nobody remembers the missed header. So I like I I think that's why I like being a goalkeeper, is because I could try to sort of fix mistakes, if you
Yeah.
like. And then if I ever made the mistake, then I had to go look at in the mirror myself.
Yeah, taking full responsibilities, and as a goalkeeper, even a central defender, you kind of are, yeah, you're a fixer. You solve problems. You can see, you got to see things, and I think even in our post career, that's the way we go about, even businesses, because we can't be in a rush. You got to take, you got to think about the way you got to communicate. As a goalkeeper, the communication between me and you as a central defense and the rest of the team has to be spot on, because we can even solve problems by the way we just communicate without having to even run or to do something physical. And I think in businesses today, in business, any business venture, whether it's a football business or outside of football, those trading characteristic, what I call superpower, are crucial. Brad, just quick fire question for you.
Seb, let me add,
Yeah.
can I,
Yeah.
well, hey, Seb, can I add one more thing that's
Of course you can.
really important for people going into business after football? And I've learned this, I learned this with somebody like flat out telling me, and then after he told me, I've seen it happen. The big business guys, the successful businessmen and women out there, they only care, they only care about um, your playing career for a split second to get you in the door to the meeting, or it allows you to get in there. Once you're in there, your playing career is absolutely irrelevant to the business people. Maybe someone's in there that wants to take a picture with you because they have a son or a daughter or a family member or husband or wife or somebody who supports the club you played for. But they don't respect you as a business person until you prove that you can be a business person. That your playing career is non-existent unless you're going into work, for one of the television companies, because that's what they want. They want your knowledge about football and can you speak on camera. But those companies wouldn't be looking at the footballers as executives inside of the broadcasting companies. So it's I think a lot of footballers think that because they were popular footballers, they go into these meetings and it gives them a head start. I think it's the opposite. I think it takes them under the other applicants. It just allows for the meeting to occur.
Yeah. I think, listen, your playing career, you got to leverage that to get that gets you in the room because of your playing career, because of your accolades, and as you said, people are maybe fans, but once you get in there, you need to be knowledgeable. You need to really like bring value to the business, and that's something. And that, you know what, in a way, you asked me to say something, but that answered the question I was going to ask you. That's a very good advice that you just gave to all the football players that are about to get into business. And in a more funny way, can you think about in all your over decades, 2 decades playing career, who, if you got to name one player that was very smart with his money, who was it that you can remember?
Oh, quite a few, quite a few. I mean, I think the likes of Harry Kane. I think Gareth Bale. I don't know for sure. Luka Modric. I'm sure Scotty Parker. Musa Dembele. I believe uh, very good. Um, um, I don't know. I don't know now, but I imagine, like, looking at the people that are on, like your Thierry Henry's, probably I would imagine Sol Campbell seems a
Smart with his money?
very astute guy. I know I don't I think smart guy,
No. Now
like
I'm talking
how
about
I remember Sol.
who was the
Um,
smartest with his money.
Ro Robbie Fowler, Steve McManaman, they were up there. Michael Owen, yeah, he was up
Yeah,
there.
my listen. I remember when I
Like,
was in
yeah.
Newcastle when I came and Michael Owen was there, and this is the first time when I got introduced or exposed to a player that was doing business, and even in the dressing room. Because sometimes I was
Mm.
sneaking next to him, and I was kind of trying to listen to his conversation, to the way he was, managing outside businesses. So even though I'm not so close to him right now,
Well, there was Robbie Fowler. I played with him at Liverpool and then at Blackburn, and I can't remember if it was when Robbie was with Blackburn or is if when he was at Man City and we were playing against them. But I just remember, I remember, and Mako was playing at Man City at the time as well, and the crowd was singing. The Man City fans were all singing, "We all live in a Robbie Fowler house."
I wish they could have sung that for me too. That shows.
Yeah.
That, listen, that, he did.
Yeah, yeah, that
Yeah,
was good. That was
nah, he
good.
did. He did really well. He did really well. So, Brad, honestly, thank you very much because for me, that's very important for people to understand the world of football, but transition into the world of business. There's so much things that are not being said and sometimes misinterpreted, and people don't have the real, I would say, image or the reality of what we might be going through, the successes, the losses. But for me, at the end of the day, it's all lessons because whether you win or lose, you learn something. And I think you're a prime example of it. So, a last word, Brad, before I wrap it up.
Um, I think the most important thing is to do things that you love to do. If you don't have passion to do it, it's never going to be successful in the first place. You know, certain people's risks are different. Certain people's values in life are different. I think football is such a small blip of your time in your life. It can help set you up to do certain things for sure, but there's an awful long time afterwards. You know, that's for sure. Your body just physically won't be able to do it all the time. Um, so prepare yourself for after while you're playing. Find another hobby, find something else you love to do, find something that interests you. I mean, it can be anything. I mean, I played with players that I'm a lot older than you, Seb, so this is a long time ago. Like people that love like hanging out in their garden. Like seriously, I purchased a landscaping company then. Like do something that you love to do for after football that you will enjoy. Because when you get stuck in jobs that you don't enjoy, I've seen that as well. And I've been really fortunate that like the jobs that I've been rewarded with being able to take on, they've all been exciting. You know, whether I've liked them or not in certain aspects, that's down to me. You know, I'm quite fortunate with that. There are a lot of people I know and a lot of people you know, Seb, that don't get to do jobs that they love. You know, so um, you know, I think football can help set you up for sure. But then you need to find something that you have passion with for after.
Uh, Listen, amen to that. I couldn't agree more. As I always said, football is the vehicle who's going to take you to the destination. Football ain't your destination. So, guys, for those of you, the fans, thank you for watching the Players Lounge today with Brad. I'm honestly thank you, Brad, for opening up because the Players Lounge is a trusted place. You know, it's about trust, and you trusted us, so until next time, I thank you very much, guys. Keep subscribing, pass it on. You know how it is in the Players Lounge. We try to bring you as much as possible about business because it's on the FBT Football Business Television, where the football get down to business. Until next time, thank you very much, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.